The King Charles III England Coast Path is a massive infrastructure project designed to wrap the entire English seaboard. Looking at this map, you see a trail that is approximately 2,700 miles long, making it the longest managed coastal walking route in the world. It features a coastal margin, 943 square miles, granting legal access off the linear path, right down to the water's edge. But seeing a number that large creates a practical problem. It paralyzes casual weekend visitors who don't know where to start. Trying to hike the coast without a targeted regional strategy guarantees you will spend more time battling logistics than actually enjoying the walk. Authors Angelica Davey and Stephen Healey developed a framework to solve this trail paralysis, centered around a character named Barnaby the Turtle. The core ethos is simple: stop worrying about high mileage and prioritize a deliberate, slow pace. This diagram shows how we break those 2,700 miles down into 3 distinct scenario profiles: landmarks, accessibility, and wildlife. The crucial question isn't how far you can hike, it's figuring out exactly which environment matches your specific mobility level and interests. The goal is optimizing a 5 to 10 mile slice of the trail that perfectly fits your physical capabilities. First is the heritage hunter profile. This targets the path's most iconic geological sites and historic strongholds. In the northeast, you find sites like Bamburgh Castle, a fortress that has stood guard over the beach for over a millennium. Down south, you can trace the dramatic geology of the Seven Sisters Cliffs, or navigate the famous sheer drops of the White Cliffs of Dover. Further west along the Jurassic coast, the trail routes you past Durdle Door's massive limestone arch. And in Cornwall, it brings you to the Minack Theatre, an amphitheater carved directly into the cliffside. To reach these views, you must navigate steep gradients, uneven stairs, and sheer drops that require higher cardiovascular exertion. You also have to share the trail with the heavy tourist foot traffic drawn to these major national treasures. For the heritage hunter, unparalleled dramatic views demand intense terrain and large crowds. Next is the optimizer. This profile is built for friction-free, highly accessible weekend strolls. Looking at this illustration, we see flat, designated segments like the 26 kilometers from Skegness to Mablethorpe. Because these specific paths are style-free and paved, they guarantee ease of use for wheelchairs, pushchairs, and multi-generational families. The 93-kilometer stretch from Minehead to Brean Down offers a similar advantage, placing walkers right next to urban parking and accessible toilets. The trade-off for this convenience is isolation. Choosing these paths means sacrificing rugged, natural wilderness. These sections frequently share space with paved promenades, meaning you will be walking alongside cyclists, locals, and urban infrastructure. The optimizer trades coastal isolation for guaranteed, stress-free access for the whole family. Finally, we have the Naturalist. This profile seeks direct access to priority coastal conservation habitats. This takes you to stretches like the Farne Islands, a world-famous sanctuary for seabirds, or to Walney Island in Cumbria, which hosts significant breeding colonies of gray seals. But venturing into this coastal margin requires you to navigate highly dynamic, fragile environments. Walkers must strictly obey seasonal diversions to protect nesting birds and maintain rigid leash control over dogs at all times. The ultimate logistical challenge here is committing to tidal crossings, like the causeway leading to the holy island of Lindisfarne. Failing to plan around local tide charts can leave unsuspecting walkers stranded, or even worse, in severe physical danger. Accessing England's finest wildlife requires submitting entirely to nature's schedule. The trail's massive scale should be viewed as a functional menu, rather than a marathon mandate. This scorecard maps the trade-offs. You have flat paths for strollers, elevated routes for heritage hikers, and rigid tidal zones for wildlife watchers. If you have mobility limitations or a tight schedule, you need to skip the tidal zones and cliff routes entirely. Instead, focus on the low-friction stretches in Cumbria or Lincolnshire, where multi-generational families can thrive. And because the path was legally designed with a rollback mechanism, if a cliff erodes, the trail dynamically shifts inland. The continuous route is never lost to the sea. Channel Barnaby the Turtle. Do not let 2,700 miles intimidate you. Choose the exact terrain that fits your weekend, and take it one pebble at a time.